And so it says the federal judge who granted an emergency stay of part of President Donald Trump's immigration ban is a former prosecutor nominated to the bench by Barack Obama on the recommendation of Chuck Schumer. So it says Schumer, the high-profile Democratic senator, is a family friend of the judge, Ann Donnelly, according to the Brooklyn Daily Eagle. Schumer called for the executive order's reversal. And so it says the order for a stay came down on January 28th from Donnelly, a judge based in Brooklyn, according to the New York Times. Trump's executive order had created a 90-day ban on all immigration from a series of Muslim-majority countries: Iraq, Iran, Libya, Sudan, Somalia, and Yemen. Syrian immigration was banned indefinitely, and the order created a 120-day moratorium on all refugees into the United States. And Trump denied the immigration ban was a Muslim ban and said he thought it was working well. The New York Times reported he has said he feels the ban is necessary to review the vetting process and protect the United States from radical Islamic terrorists. However, the ban was affecting everyone, from an Iraqi man who served the U.S. military as an interpreter to people with green cards, as protests erupted at airports around the country where people from the impacted countries were detained. And so, Donnelly found that Trump's executive order would cause detainees irreparable injury. According to the Washington Times, the judge ruled that implementing Trump's order would cause irreparable injury to some people if they were sent back. The state blocks anyone with a valid visa from being held at airports from being deported. They do not have to be released from detention. And she says the petitioners, and this was part of the ruling, she said the petitioners have a strong likelihood of success in establishing that the removal of the petitioner and others similarly situated violates their rights to due process and equal protection guaranteed by the United States Constitution. So I guess she applies that when it's convenient for her. And it says there is imminent danger that absent the stay of removal, there will be substantial and irreparable injury to refugees, visa holders, and other individuals from nations subject to the January 27, 2017 executive order. And then it goes on to talk more about her ruling. It says, according to The Hill, which is a publication, the judge's ruling, quote, affects those who have arrived in the U.S. from previously approved refugee applications or were in transit with valid visas, not those still overseas. And then 2, it says, Judge Donnelly is a former prosecutor who was born in Michigan. According to her judicial profile, Donnelly is a United States District Court judge for the Eastern District of New York. She was born in 1959 in Royal Oak, Michigan. Donnelly has a BA from the University of Michigan, a BA she got that in 1981, and a law degree from Ohio State University College of Law in 1984. The New York court website says her father was vice president of A.O. Smith Corporation and chairman of their electric motor division. A graduate of Notre Dame University, he served as an adjunct professor at Wright State University for over 10 years. Before becoming a federal judge, she worked for the New York County District Attorney's Office from 1984 to 2009. She was an assistant district attorney from 1984 to 1997, senior trial counsel 1997 to 2005, and the bureau chief in the Family Violence Child Abuse Bureau 2005 to 2009. Okay, so that plays a significant part in her thinking. She served as a judge on the New York State Court of Claims from 2009 to 2015, And in the following positions, Supreme Court of Bronx County, New York, criminal term 2009 to 2013, special term for election matters 2013, Supreme Court of Kings County, New York, criminal terms 2013 to 2014, Supreme Court of New York County, New York, criminal term 2014 to 2015. And she's married to Michael Toth and has 2 daughters, and the daughters are Rebecca Toth and Margaret Toth. And so, number 3, it says Barack Obama nominated the judge to the federal bench on Schumer's advice. The New York court's website says that Donnelly was nominated by Barack Obama on January 7, 2015 to a seat vacated by Sandra L. Towns. She was confirmed by the Senate on October 20th, 2015 and received commission on October 21st, 2015. The U.S. Senate confirmed her appointment on a 95-2 vote, according to the New York Law Journal. Donnelly was nominated to be a federal judge by President Barack Obama on the recommendation of Senator Charles Schumer, which was reported in the Brooklyn Eagle. The newspaper quoted the chief judge as saying, after giving Donnelly the oath of office, quote, "We are indebted to Senator Schumer for recommending Ann Donnelly and all of the other outstanding recent appointments." When Donnelly was confirmed, Schumer called her, quote, "fair, and open-minded" in the news release. 4. Schumer has described himself as a family friend of Donnelly. So she got the hookup, y'all. According to the Brooklyn Daily Edge, when Donnelly was sworn in to the federal bench, Schumer spoke at her oath of office, described himself as a family friend of the Donnellys, and noted that his daughter played basketball with one of Donnelly's daughters as Saint Savior. He said of Donnelly, "I am so pleased to be here and celebrate this moment in the journey of an exceptional, talented, and well-respected jurist, Judge Ann Donnelly," the newspaper reported. On Twitter, a few hours later, before Donnelly's order, Schumer urged the reversal of Trump's executive orders. Schumer had attempted to get Donnelly confirmed on unanimous consent, according to Law360.com. Okay, so the lawsuit that Donnelly heard was filed on behalf of 2 Iraqi men whom were detained under the executive order, although one was released before her ruling. Hamid Khalid Darwish, an Iraqi man who put his life on the line as an interpreter for the U.S. military, praised America as the land of freedom after being released from airport detention. Donald Trump's executive order on immigration and visas and had resulted in the detainment of Americans, so it kind of goes over that again. So basically, she was appointed. Then it goes on to talk about more of that really has nothing to do with her. So she was appointed, basically, I guess, so I'm thinking she must be a Democrat. And so they appointed her to the bench so that they could have somebody there who probably shared their views on certain things. And I think it's also interesting. So Schumer is a family friend of hers. He talked Obama into appointing her, and so now she's on the bench, so they basically control her and control whatever she does.